Oh, yeah. Freak out, freak out. Can you feel it in the air? Can you feel the madness? Yeah. Because tonight, I am the Macho Man, Randy Savage. You are you. Yeah, you are you. And we are here because tonight is Halloween. And can you feel it? Can you feel it? Three competitors, yeah. Walk up to a bunch of pumpkins. They take out a knife and they carve them up. Yeah, brother, they carve them up. And who's going to walk away with the crown? Who walks away with the championship? Yeah, well, let me tell you something. My curiosity is killing me, just like a cat would be killed by the curiosity. Ooh, yeah.
And that is the last time that I'm going to ever do that voice on this show. I am James. Tonight, I come to you as the Macho Man, Randy Savage, as we salute him high above the sky as he perhaps delivers a devastating flying elbow smash to two people, because only one in this three-person pumpkin carving extravaganza will walk away with the top prize. But here's the thing. The top prize is not money. The top prize is not a gift certificate. The top prize isn't even a handshake and a photo opportunity with me. Tonight's top prize is bragging rights. And let's get started with bragging rights. We got 3 Murderers Row carvers coming to us tonight from Vancouver, British Columbia. It's Taylor McMillan. Coming to us from an undisclosed location, it's Conor Rose. And coming to us from the city of defeat, population, Joe Conto, the man who was cheated, robbed. Some say he couldn't get the job done. Tonight, he looks to mount a victory, to overcome the embarrassment that he felt last year, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. But how are we really going to do this? Because when you want to talk controversy, you want to talk about what happened last year. Last year, I take full responsibility. There was no scoring scheme. There was no point system. The judges were virtually useless. Tonight, I have expanded everything to the point that I've made this year's scoring scheme too complicated. I have to do math tonight. So this may end in controversy again if it's up to me to do simple calculations. We have got our panel of judges ready. Also joining us tonight is last year's winner. He is recently retired, not only from Halloween, but pumpkin carving. Kim Ho is going to be here tonight, but why wait? If you're asking and you're wondering and you're begging, why wait, James? Well, I agree with you. Let's welcome tonight's pumpkin carvers to the show. And look at this. They have got just a series of absolutely incredible costumes. So let's start right to my left. It is the one and only Conor Rose. Conor, happy Halloween, buddy.
Hey, James. Happy Halloween.
Now, Conor, you were here a couple weeks ago, and when I say here, you were literally in my home. You coughed and breathed on me. You gave me what I called Conor 19. Conor, how are you feeling tonight before this incredible competition?
Yeah, James, I gotta say I'm feeling pretty nervous. I never carved a pumpkin before, so this is gonna be interesting. James, I think you reminded the audience, but I'll remind them again, I was at your house.
Yep, I just mentioned.
Yeah. How many guests on your show can say that?
In terms of tonight's guests?
Yeah.
I would say maybe half of them. Yeah, half of them. But Conor, that's okay. Look, I'm a friend to many people. I'm a friend to you, but I'm a friend to many others. How about this? How about you come over for the holidays?
Okay, yeah, just me?
Sure, we can maybe invite Dave or Dimitri.
Okay, yeah, like a boys' night.
All right. Well, maybe we'll just wear some, protective masks to be, safe. Great. Let's move on where it is only 6:13 p.m., Taylor McMillan, who is wearing the same costume as last year.
It's not even just the second year I've worn it. This is, in fact, the third year I've worn this costume.
Well, the third time might be a charm, Taylor. Last year, you were a judge in the aforementioned controversial pumpkin carving extravaganza. Tonight, you put your artistic prowess to good use. You were a carver. How do you feel going into tonight's competition?
I feel like I have a unique viewpoint because I was judging last year's competition, and I also have a view on some of the other carvers and what their styles might be. So I feel very proud.
Okay, great. Let's round things out. Joe, I'm not sure what your costume is, but I think you might be a burglar. Tonight, it seems like you're looking to steal victory out of the hands of both Conor and Taylor. Joe, happy Halloween. How are you feeling tonight? It's your second kick at the can.
Feeling good. I'm feeling good. Got a lucky pumpkin.
Now, did you steal this one?
No, I listen.
Stole it
Listen, I paid for it $3.98 at the Walmart, and yeah. So there you go. I paid for it and everything.
All right, I want to quickly go through people's costumes. So, Joe, what is your costume? You're clearly using a Zoom filter.
I'm a bandit. Is middle-aged and recently divorced.
Okay, so the middle-aged and recently divorced bandit.
That's why I have a jean jacket on.
Great. So, Conor,
I'm going to IKEA. I'm going to go to IKEA because I'm moving into a studio apartment.
Because of the divorce.
Because of the divorce, she got the kids.
Well, I like that not only do you have a costume, but the costume has an accompanying character piece along with it. Conor, let's go to you. I think it's fairly obvious what you are, but what are you?
Hey, James. I'm a scarecrow. And I just had like a lot of like dirt and burlap strings around my house. So I just thought I would put them in my favorite overalls and call it a costume, you know?
All right, Conor, you seem nervous. Just loosen up, right? We're having a Halloween party here. It's okay.
James, you didn't tell me Taylor was going to be here.
Well, I thought you saw the promotional material. Is that a problem?
No. Hey, Taylor.
Hey, Conor.
You look beautiful.
Thanks. You're looking pretty good yourself.
Thanks. I don't know if we've spoken since last Christmas.
No, I guess you're single again, hey?
Yeah.
Well, Taylor, Joe is also single.
Oh, well,
very single.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, hold on. Ready to mingle.
Oh, that couldn't have been more disturbing. Taylor, let's go through what you
I've been out of the game a while.
We're going to go through Taylor's costume, be uninformed. Now, Conor, let's relax now. Let's relax, Conor.
I'm a character from Wes Anderson's movie, The Grand Budapest Hotel.
All right. Is that funny, Conor?
Yeah. So clever.
All right. Well, I want to quickly go through what your strategies tonight are, because you're going to be scored on 3 separate criteria. There is creativity, spookiness, and of course, execution. Taylor, let's start with you.
Yes.
What's your strategy going into tonight's competition?
I was just distracted. I was looking at Conor. You look good, great.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I think, I did some brainstorming earlier today. I want to do something that is unexpected, but sophisticated, but also playful.
Unexpected, sophisticated, and playful. Joe, what's your strategy? Last year, your pumpkin really blew the socks off of everyone, but unfortunately,
it was really good.
It was really good.
This year, I want to do something flirty, 30, and fun. All
right. So within the realm of your costume tonight, the single divorced bandit.
Yeah, I've got some ideas. I've gathered up some stuff. We'll see what it ends up like. We'll see. Yeah, but it's going to be fun and possibly disturbing.
All right. Well, that may do a favor for you in the spooky category.
Yeah, I know. Conor, but to be honest, spooky threw me for a loop.
Well, this is the thing. We want to keep the competitors on their toes. Conor, are you on your toes? What's your strategy tonight? You've never done this before.
James, my strategy is Here's the thing. When I was young, I've never really been allowed to use knives, and so my strategy is just to, not hurt myself, stay safe, and maybe make someone smile. Taylor.
Well, there's no time like the presence. Connor, Joe, Taylor, we now allow you to get to work because the pumpkin carving extravaganza, spectacular, whatever you want to call it, begins now. Our carvers have begun. Folks, we are going to check in with them a little later on. But before we do that, we step into our time machine. We take a trip not only down memory lane, but we take a second to not only honor a winner, a champion, an expert, but we take some moments to speak to and check in with a man who could be described as all of those things. If you were not here last year, 2020, it was our first ever Halloween edition of At Home with James. It was the first pumpkin carving contest. And this man, not only did Joe woo all of the judges, but this man did it just a little bit more in order to walk away with the grand prize. So we're going to check in with him right here, right now. Please welcome to At Home with James, it is last year's champion, Kim Ho. Kim, welcome back from one champion to another.
James,
how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I hope I'm not interrupting. It looks like you're doing some knitting or crocheting.
I'm just doing a little knitting.
Yeah. Now, it looks like you're having just an absolutely pleasant night. It looks warm. It looks cozy in there. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm doing great. Hold on. Let me just change the view.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. There you are.
There we
Perfect.
go.
Let me turn down the music here. Hold on. Turn that down.
Now, as we do that, Kim, I feel like I've interrupted a moment of serenity for you. I hope I'm catching you at an okay time.
Anytime's a good time these days, right now, James.
Well,
I'm retired. I got all the time in the world.
Now, I heard a rumor by way of our production assistant, Devin. He told me that after last year's competition, not only did you formally retire from pumpkin carving, but you have straight up retired.
100% retired. I'm done. I'm out.
Wow.
I've done so much, so many accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
Always striving for success and succeeding. And I decided, you know what? I just need a little Kim Ho time.
Yeah.
Just see what life is like without always winning, really.
Well, and you are an accomplished winner. We know that from last year. So I want to, as mentioned, take a trip down memory lane. What were your memories of winning last year's pumpkin carving spectacular, Kim? Take us through that. What went into it? How did you feel? The ups, the downs, the in-betweens, anything and everything.
It was a roller coaster ride, James.
Yeah.
It was exhilarating. It was infuriating. It was like I was elated. I was filled with joy, sadness, despair. It was everything, James. It was the gamut of emotions and feelings.
Well, how did it feel when you were declared winner, right? You talked about the roller coaster of emotions, the anger, the frustration, the ups, the downs, the highs, and the lows. You came out on top. That must have been just like a weight off of your shoulders and a wave of feelings of success and accomplishment.
It was a very emotional. I mean, in the moment, it's almost like I wasn't even there. It was like I was above my body, looking down at myself in the princess outfit that I was wearing.
Yep.
And the pumpkin was there, and I was just kind of seeing everything in slow motion. Yeah. It was very special. It was very special, I must say.
Well, look, first and foremost, I have to congratulate you one more time. The pumpkin was fantastic. Your creativity was through the roof. Now, we're here tonight because you're going to pass the torch, essentially, to a new winner. I'm curious to know, I'm almost looking at this like you are an analyst tonight. You're the expert. You are to us what Wayne Gretzky has become to the TNT broadcast network when they show NHL hockey games. This is almost a coach's corner. This is the Carver's corner, so to speak.
I'm like the Ken Dryden, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Super, like just champion, ready to analyze and just give deep wisdom.
Well, then let's get into it. I've got a couple questions. So we've talked about it a numerous amount of times over the past year. Tonight, Joe is looking to, I guess, write his redemption story. What do you think Joe has to do tonight to really achieve the victory that he feels he was robbed of last year?
Well, I mean, right there, I think James is one of his big problems. I mean, he's got to let go of the past.
Yeah.
He's got to stop making excuses for himself. Champions don't make excuses. You know, champions show up and they perform, and they don't worry about, you know, oh, I was cheated, this or that. No, it's game day. You perform on. You don't have these. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be tough for Joe. I think it was a big loss.
Yeah. And in fact, he lost twice because there was a recount at the at-home awards in which you won the contest for a second time.
I mean, James, it's to me, it's obvious. You know, it's blatantly obvious. It saddens me to see Joe cling and claw. You know, so precariously and so desperately. At this loss that to me was, I mean, it was a hands down loss. And
it was embarrassing. It was an embarrassing defeat. We don't have to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
You mop the floor with it. Now we've got Taylor here. She was a judge last year. This is the person that had a hand in giving you the victory. She's a first-time carver. From your perspective, what does she need to do to walk away with the top prize tonight?
I mean, really, Taylor just needs to be herself. You know, she just has to. That's the key, James, is just to kind of open the door and walk through. You know what I mean? Don't be in the house trying to look out the window, curtains, decorate the room. Is this analogy working?
Yeah, of course.
Just open the door, walk through yourself.
Yep.
You're the person in the house, and you are the house. I don't know. But anyway, you know, just be yourself.
Be yourself, right? Okay, so we've got Joe, walk away from the past. Taylor, be yourself. Now, the dark horse in this one is Conor Rose. We don't know a lot about Conor's artistic expertise or quite possibly otherwise. What do you think about Conor Rose? This is the wild card tonight.
You know, Conor's very, very interesting, intriguing competitor.
Yep.
I mean, I would almost call him like an idiot savant. You know,
okay.
It's some just say an idiot, but I would like to say an idiot savant. I would like to add that savant part to the idiot equation.
Yeah,
make an equation, and I think Conor just needs to believe.
Okay.
But I think the great thing about Conor is that he kind of always does.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to tell you what concerns me about Conor is he wasn't aware that Taylor was on the show. He seemed both aroused and thrown off. Do you think that is going to work against Conor tonight?
I mean, that is Conor's great weakness. The beautiful ladies of the world. Will always be Conor's Achilles heel. But I think that's a great opportunity for Taylor to exploit and to use. And Conor needs to be careful, which is it's going to be very difficult for Conor to be careful.
And he mentioned he's afraid of knives, which kind of puts him at a disadvantage right away.
Yes. I don't know how he's going to get around that. Perhaps gloves, maybe ski gloves.
Right.
To protect his hands, a butter knife, chiseling, maybe a chiseling technique. He's going to have to get over that kind of pretty quickly or find some kind of solution there.
Well, I couldn't agree more. Now, of course, we want to bring this back to you. I want to know how your life, we know that you're retired, but how has your life changed since winning last year's competition?
It was a whirlwind year after winning. The press circuits, the interviews, the talk shows. It was intense. I got to tell you, James. It was like the apex of my career.
Yeah.
And standing there at the top, you see a lot. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Looking down at it all, it was overwhelming, and I would have to say it's probably the big reason I retired was just the magnitude of that win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also curious to know, right? This is a kid-friendly show. We have a really big children audience. I'm curious to know if you have any tips for kids who might be carving their first pumpkin this year, or at least in upcoming years.
Kids out there listening to, where are you kids? There you are.
Yeah.
There can be a lot of pressure. There can be a lot, from parents, even at a young age, a lot of parents, the pumpkin parents, I like to call them. You're always screaming, come on, carve more. Just cut that out. You got to focus on the fun, at that age, especially pumpkin carving is fun. And if you can keep that spirit, you're going to go far.
Yeah. Well, that's great advice. Now, of course, we're talking about Halloween tonight, but I also got a production note. I heard through the grapevine that of course, you're a musician. So I know a lot of musicians, it's a community, right? So they talk to each other, they know each other, despite different genres or styles. I've come to understand that you're a close personal friend of rock and roller Tommy Powell.
Of course. Tommy and I go way back. Yes.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Tommy has been on this show. He's done a variety of songs. Last year, he blew audiences away with some of his Christmas music stylings.
Doesn't surprise me. I mean, I think I actually watched that episode.
Right.
And as we all did, obviously, probably one of the greatest episodes you've ever broadcast. I mein, in my opinion. I mean, I'm a musician, so I'm obviously partial to music.
And I'm a music guy too. I don't play it. I listen to it. It moves me and I like it. But so Kim, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but I want to ask a personal favor of you.
Sure, please.
And again, we're having a Halloween party. This is a Halloween episode. It's spooky season. It's the season of the witch. But in a couple days, we turn that calendar from the 31st to November 1st. And then before you know it, it's the holidays, right? You and I, we're gentlemen. We can agree with that.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that. No, 100%. The holidays are coming.
Yeah.
It's November next month. There's nothing to
So that's why I want to put you on the spot. Tommy Powell, he's a busy guy. Could I ask you a favor? Could you get in touch with Tommy and see if he would like to come back on the show? Maybe do some of his originals, but also, look, I don't want to be presumptuous, another Christmas song.
Wow. I mean, James, Tommy's a really busy guy.
I know.
Obviously, I understand why you want me to ask him.
Yeah. I don't want to come on too strong, right? I'll be honest. I have a bit of a man crush on Tommy Powell.
Well, personally, I thought you were dressed as Tommy Powell tonight, but...
Well, you know what? It's possible. Maybe there's some type of lineage to show that the Macho Man Randy Savage was directly inspired by Tommy Powell. So we have all those degree of separation. So in a lot of ways, I am inspired by Mr. Powell.
I mean, I would say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So.
And I'd agree.
Listen, James, let me feel it out. Let me think about it for tonight. And I'll sip on my ginger tea here.
Great. Yeah.
Got a great recipe that I've been working on. I'm going to get some. And let me talk to Tommy tomorrow.
I love it.
I think he's in Singapore. Presently.
Okay. Well, every time he's here, he often brings up how he's on tours of Asia.
Tommy, you think Tommy's big here?
Well, I know he's big here.
You should go to Asia, man. You should go to Asia and see how big Tommy is.
Could you imagine I go on tour with Tommy? But that's crazier than a dog riding a horse.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
James, on tour with Tommy. I don't
right?
see it. Hey,
you know what? Look.
Crazier things have happened, right?
Crazier things have happened. Look, Kim, not only do I appreciate you putting in the word with Tommy, but I really want to thank you for being here as part of Carver's Corner. And you're having your tea, you're knitting. I don't want to take up any more of your retirement time. You're in the twilight. You've given up work. You're all about relaxation. I just want to thank you so much for being here.
James, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. And, you know, as sort of the reigning, I mean, I guess I'm retired, so I'm no longer the defending, but I am the reigning champion.
Yeah.
And tonight is a momentous evening. I will be passing on my crown, my championship belt, if you will, to the next generation. And it's an honor and a privilege to see these youngsters coming up and trying to accomplish great things that I also did in my life.
Look, you are really passing the torch with nothing but humility and class. Kim, again, thank you so much for being here, and enjoy retirement.
Thank you, James. Good luck to all the competitors. And kids, don't forget, it's all about the fun.
Look at that. You want advice? You know, these days, kids need a real role model. They need someone that they can look up to. You got all these celebrities. They're scum. You got the musicians that are singing songs about the BJs and the HJs and RJs and lap dances. And then you've got these actors, and they're off doing God knows what. If there's any parents out there, I want you to grab your kids by the shoulder. Do real stern, right? Even hurt them a little bit to show them you mean it. You say, I want you to take all of those movies and DVDs and records that you got, throw them in the trash. You follow in the footsteps of a guy, a hero like Kim Ho. I never had a hero growing up. I wish there was a guy like Kim that I could look up to. And maybe I'd be more than an internet talk show host. But I'm not mad about it. I'm happy about it. I connect with you. You connect with me by way of the information superhighway. The fact that you're here spending your Halloween Friday with me, you know what that makes me say? It makes me say, ooh, yeah, dig it. Snap into it. God, I'm going to need some of that ginger tea after this show. Let's check in with our carvers as we promised to do. We want to see what type of progress they're making. So we're going to bring Connor, Taylor, and Joe back on screen. So we're checking in with everyone right here, right now. Connor, Taylor, Joe, we just spoke with last year's winner, Kim Ho. He was giving some truly sound advice. I want to know how things are going. You're at roughly the midway point. Connor, let's check in with you.
Wait, how much time do I have left?
Well, you've got about another half hour.
Yeah, James. This pumpkin carving stuff is harder than it looks.
All right, well, that's Conor Rose. Joe, let's go to you. There were some choice words from Kim Ho. He said you're living in the past, and if you want to win tonight, you've got to move into the future.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do tonight. I ran into a little bit of a problem with some thick walls on my pumpkin. So
things aren't looking good right now.
It was tough. It was tough. Yeah. And my pumpkin tools, I couldn't find them, so I'm using a corkscrew. So anyway, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on here.
The same corkscrew that you use to open up the bottles of wine that have. No, let's relax, Joe. Let's calm down right now. Let's calm down. Saying you're using the corkscrew, the same one that you use to open up the bottles of wine that have replaced your wife that left you.
Exactly.
Now, Taylor, let's go to you. You're still carving during the course of this check-in, and I like that a lot. How are things going for you?
Going exactly according to plan.
All right. Now, how are your walls?
My walls are quite thin on one side and quite thick on the other, which I was not expecting. So it's throwing me for a loop, but I'm gonna figure it out.
All right. Now, Connor, how are your walls?
James, no one told me that there'd be so much stuff in the pumpkin.
Well, Connor, I sent out a memo to all the carvers saying that they were allowed to gut the pumpkin before getting on the air.
Oh.
Well, Connor, I sent it to your email address, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me check something here. Okay, well, it looks like the email bounced back, and it says that this email is no longer in service.
Yeah, that happened. James, I got in trouble on the internet.
How'd you get in trouble on the internet? What do you mean?
I don't know if I really want to have this conversation with Taylor right here.
All right, well, how about we save it for when you come over again?
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it. It was quite the day, James.
All right, well, I'm excited to hear about it. I'm gonna let you guys get back to the carving. Taylor's on a roll, Connor's having trouble, and Joe has left the desk. So that feels like there's any moment to do it. It is now. Those are the carvers. What a night it has been so far. It's Halloween. It's spooky. It's spectacular. But of course, you can't have a carving contest without people who are responsible for judging the carving. So without any further ado, let's welcome tonight's judges. We've got Halloween expert, Jess Fildes. We've got stickler, Syd Roc, and we've got safety and security enthusiast, Danielle Perrin is back on the show tonight.
That's Daniel Parent, actually.
You're right. I'm sorry. It's just the spelling of your name really sounds quite French.
It's okay. How's it going, James?
Okay, so it's Daniel Parent and not Danielle Perrin.
That's correct.
All right. Now let's check in with everyone. Daniel.
Hey, you mind if I take a sip of my coffee?
I don't mind at all. You're up late tonight. You're having a coffee. Let's go through your costume, Daniel.
Yeah, so I'm dressed like a pirate, but still in my normal garb so that the kids recognize me if they need help.
Right. Okay, so you think that if you were wearing a pirate's outfit from the neck down, they'd be maybe confused that you're an actual pirate, and if they were in any type of danger, they wouldn't know to ask you for assistance.
That's correct. I'm here to help the kids during their time of need during Halloween season.
All right. Well, that's great. Let's check in with Jess. You've been here a multitude of times through Chalktober, through Devon's disturbing Halloween activities.
Hey, James,
Jess,
can I have another sip of my coffee?
Yeah, you can, Daniel. Jess, who are you dressed as tonight?
Low rent Beetlejuice.
Low rent Beetlejuice. I would have said business person Beetlejuice because we've got this snazzy blazer. Now, Jess, you've got some fans in the audience right now. This person whose username I can't pronounce or read because of these sunglasses, they say, hey, I know Jess.
I know how.
Yeah, so this is Shalinia 9000.
Shalinia 9000, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I like that username, Shalinia.
9,000.
All right, well, Jess, I don't know how you feel about it. I guess that's that. Now, Syd, it seems very, very obvious what you are, but let's check in your costume tonight.
I'm dressed as a judge. It's hard to see, but wait.
Now, you are tonight's distinguished judge. Now, it really wouldn't be fair to have this panel without checking in to see what you're looking for from tonight's competitors. So, Syd, we ended with you in that check-in. We're going to start with you. Syd, you took a lot of umbrage with last year's competition.
Yes.
I have made so many adjustments, and it's all in the name of getting you on this panel. So I did my part. What do you think the carvers need to do on their part to get a victory from you tonight?
Before I answer, I just want to say when you described me as a stickler coming to this, I actually took that as a compliment. I
meant it as such.
Absolutely fair.
Yeah.
Last year was a sham. Joe Conto was robbed.
Okay.
And I am just happy to be able to contribute to having something similar to a competition this year as opposed to the shit show we saw last year.
Now, Syd, you said it best, right? You used some really unflattering and unkind language to depict what last year was.
Yes.
Some might say that last year's competition was frankly beta.
Yes, it was beta.
Now, Jess, we're going to go back to you. What are you looking for tonight from the carvers, Connor, Joe, and Taylor?
I'm looking forward to spookiness for sure. Are you doing a pose?
Well, I, for the first time tonight, really looked at myself in our production call, and I look like if somebody took all of the Macho Man Randy Savage's steroids away from him in 1986. Right? But if I do, it's like the perception is not bad. So Jess, yeah, let's check in again. What are you looking for from tonight's competitors?
Yeah, definitely for tons of spookiness. That's my number one thing I'm looking out for.
Well, okay, so now this is the one that I think is going to give the competitors the most difficulty, is the spookiness. Because I think they veer towards more the creative, artistic side, but spookiness is a category.
It is. It is. I don't think it's that hard to make a pumpkin spooky, though.
Yeah.
I think there's ways. Just have some angled down eyebrows.
Okay, so there we go. You're looking for the spookiness. Now, Daniel, what are you looking for tonight?
Me? I'm looking for safety measures.
Safety measures? Well, that's not one of the criterias, Daniel.
Well, I just want to make sure there's no jagged edges that a kid could scratch himself on or anything like that. And, I'm looking for family fun.
Hold on, Daniel. You think a kid is going to scratch themselves on a pumpkin?
Oh, every year there's at least 500, in this city alone, there's at least 500 pumpkin-related incidents.
Where are you getting these statistics? Now, Jess and Syd, have you heard anything about pumpkin-related injuries in Montreal?
I subscribe to the Halloween census, James.
I have not heard such things, but I am not a subscriber to the Halloween census.
Now, Jess, you're a Halloween expert. Are you a subscriber to the Halloween census?
Can't say I've ever heard of it, but now I want to be subscribed.
Well, okay, Daniel, where can we find the Halloween census?
Well, you got to apply to be part of the organization of Halloween board members, and once you get in, then you have kind of access to those kind of groups, and you get it through there.
All right, well, great. Of course, our pumpkin carvers, they are literally and figuratively chipping away. So in order to give them some time, of course, it wouldn't be a Halloween show if we did not talk about Halloween.
Hey, James, is it okay if I have a nibble of my chocolate?
Yeah, absolutely. What type of chocolate are you eating tonight, Daniel?
Smarties, the best chocolate.
Yeah, have a nibble of a Smartie.
Actually, I have a request.
Please.
As resident stickler, I just want to point out that I never got to answer the question. I got caught up in poo-pooing over last year's fiasco.
Syd, that's right. You are the resident stickler. You've had a variety of titles on this show. Chief political correspondent, Dave Kaufman's best friend, the sheriff. You're also the stickler, so please take it away.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I think the criteria that will be most difficult for me to evaluate is the spookiness. Mm-hmm. I think I was also thrown for a loop. However, I knew what they would be, and I figured, this is as good a criteria as we're going to get. I didn't want to make too big of a deal of it. And
you leaned off being a stickler for a moment in the name of the competition. Well, I appreciate that.
Because there's a fine balance. Like if you want things done a certain way, that's fine, but you also want things done at all. And at some point, you just gotta say, okay, this is reasonable enough. I think I can work with this.
Okay, I like that answer a lot. I want to check in because, as I mentioned, we're here. We're celebrating Halloween. We have to talk about Halloween a little bit. So, Syd, I want to start with you again. Do you have any plans for Halloween? It's Sunday, but of course, grown-ups celebrate it throughout the weekend. Are you going to be doing anything for Halloween this year?
Actually, no. I have one friend that I'm going to go see tomorrow, and that's about it. That, honestly, I think Halloween is more of a coincidence for that. So this year, I'm chilling, and my judge thing fell off there.
So, essentially, this is your Halloween tonight.
Yes. Tonight is my Halloween celebration.
I couldn't be more happy with that. Jess, let's go to you. How are you going to be celebrating Halloween this weekend? You going to be doing anything spooky?
Tomorrow, I'm going to frolic in the woods for a bit.
I don't know if I like the choice of the word frolic.
Well, it's happening.
It sounds like something people say when they're nude.
Well, we're not discounting it.
Oh, God. This is a children's show.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now, Daniel, let's go to you. Do you recommend kids be naked on Halloween?
Absolutely not. On Halloween, there's plenty of predators out. And that would be a predator's...
Yeah, Jess might be one of them.
It's a predator's wet dream to see a naked kid.
Yeah. Now, okay, so Jess, you're going to be in the woods. Is this for like a haunted ghost walk?
No, I did that last weekend.
Got it.
This is to celebrate Samhain, which is a pagan celebration.
Okay, so you're going to be celebrating the occult.
Yeah, and then on Sunday, on Halloween, I'm going to watch a ton of horror movies.
Yeah, which you do all year round.
This is true. I just feel more validated in doing so on Halloween.
All right.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm vaguely familiar with the pagan holidays. I keep forgetting the names, but I was aware that Halloween, like the 8 major dates, there are like some quote unquote normie holidays that correspond, and Halloween fits with one of them.
Well, now, Daniel, that doesn't sound safe. What do you think about all of these pagan ritualistic happenings that are taking place over this weekend?
It sounds freaky.
Okay, well, do you have any safety tips outside of that it sounds freaky?
Well, if you're going to practice witchcraft, I suggest not making friends with any actual witches.
All right, well, that's really, really sound advice. Now, we're talking
witchcraft has traditionally been a solo art, so that does track.
That's not true. You've seen the movie The Witches?
Wait, the one with Neve Campbell?
Yeah.
From the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see it.
And they weren't solo there, were they?
I guess not.
There you go.
Now, Jess, what do you think? Have you seen that movie?
I've seen The Witches, but I don't think Neve Campbell was in it.
Who are we thinking of?
Now, guys, let's. I just want for us to all relax right now. There's a lot of tension with the judges. Ultimately, the scores are going to be as they are and on their own, unaffiliated to each other until we do our grand total. Now, I want to check in. We're talking about Halloween currently. I want to talk about Halloween throughout the years. Daniel, any fun Halloween memories for you, whether as a youngster or a teenager?
Well, as you know, I have my 3 kids.
Yep.
Bart, Lisa, and Maggie.
Yeah.
And we had a great Halloween. The last one I had with them 10 years ago. It was really something.
All right. Well, what else happened on that Halloween with your Bart, Lisa, and Maggie?
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. What took place?
Well, we went trick or treating.
Mm-hmm.
We had a very safe time, nice time. Got a lot of candy, you know.
Was your wife there?
No, she was on a Vegas vacation at the time.
Oh, did she go alone or was she with anyone?
She went with a friend.
Okay.
Serge.
Serge?
Yeah.
All right, so that's your memory of Halloween as a youngster. I'm not quite sure you answered the question. Sid,
what was the
let's
question?
go to you. I said, do you have any memories of Halloween as a youngster?
No.
All right. Well, Sid, let's go to you. Any fun Halloween memories or maybe not so fun?
I got sidetracked. I thought you were going to ask me about youth memories, of which I have very few because I'm old. But as far as fun, I would say the most fun I had at Halloween was while I was studying at university and for the couple years after graduation, where the height of Halloween party scenes would take place, and unfortunately, I love Halloween. It is traditionally my favorite holiday of the year, and when you go to enough Halloween parties, they kind of blend into one memory of like people holding solo cups dressed as a variety of different things. Yeah. And there's the guy who plays baseball who's dressed as a baseball player for Halloween because, and I've done that. So not literally baseball, but yeah, I've done the equivalent of that. So it's hard for me to recall a specific party, but yeah, those are great times.
Hey, James.
Yeah, Daniel.
You mind if I correct what me and Sid were talking about before?
Sure.
We were talking about the movie The Craft.
Thank you. As a stickler, I appreciate that correction.
There we go. So it's stickler approved. Jess, I want to go to you. fun Halloween memories as a youngster?
I don't know about fun, but traumatizing I can give.
Oh, this sounds like it's going to take a fun turn.
My mom actually chased me around when I was about 2 or 3 in this mask.
Oh.
On Halloween. And scared the living daylights out of me before I even knew Beetlejuice was a thing.
Right. So this is a family heirloom.
It is. It's as old as me, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, I want to talk about everything that has to do with Halloween tonight. So we have to be talking about costumes as well. Of course, we're not going to be judging the competitors on their costumes, but does any of the costumes stick out tonight? Daniel, let's start with you. Conor Rose is a scarecrow. Taylor is a bellboy from a Wes Anderson film, and Joe Conto is a divorced burglar.
Well, you know, it seems like Joe Conto's costume is a little bit inspired by me.
How so?
Well, I'm divorced, and I recently was convicted of breaking into my ex-wife's house.
Right, yeah. Last time you were here, you were talking about trying to keep your family safe by doing simulated breaking and enterings, which are just breaking and entering.
Apparently, that was illegal.
All right. Well, I'm not quite sure that answers the question.
So jealous.
So, Syd, let's go to you.
What?
Whose costume do you like the most?
I gotta say, I am quite fond of Connor's costume.
Yeah. It's shockingly good, right?
Yes.
Shockingly good.
I want to point 2 other things out. First of all, I don't think it's fair to hold it against someone for wearing the same costume multiple times a year. Taylor's costume is great, and if I had something like that, I would just go with that a couple of years also. So yeah, I wanted to point that out. I have a couple costumes I've worn multiple times, and it's great. The other thing I want to make explicit: costumes will have no bearing on my evaluation.
Great, and
this
they
is
shouldn't.
a pumpkin
right?
carving competition, not some costume show.
We agree. This is not, quote, some costume show tonight.
Oh,
Jess,
can I address something in the chat?
Yeah.
Kim said that spooky Joe's Monopoly guy from last year wasn't spooky, so of course he lost. There weren't any criteria at all last year.
It's true. Now you're being a stickler to the people in the chat.
Hell yeah. And had there been criteria, first of all, and had they been presented to the contestants as they were before we started this show, I was there, then I'm sure Joe would have carved something different.
All right. Jess, let's go to you. Whose costume do you like?
I think I like Taylor's.
Okay. So if this was some costume show, Taylor would win.
Yeah, I think so. It's not a common costume I've seen. I like the ingenuity of it. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, well, hold on. Now,
personally, I didn't get it.
What didn't you get about it,
Dan? I don't understand it.
Well, it's from a movie. Well, this show's called At Home with James. I'm curious to know, because I don't want to make this about me. Guys, what do you think about my costume? I'm the Macho Man Randy Savage.
I really like your costume.
Thank you.
I'm very happy that you brought up how less muscular you are than Randy Savage.
Well, because what am I going to do, right? I look like I'm almost the same color as the shirt.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice.
Personally, I would have preferred a Savage Garden costume.
Savage Garden, the 90s boy band?
Yeah. Great
now,
stuff.
Can you tell me why that would be a better costume than my Macho Man Randy Savage?
It's great adult contemporary music.
Okay, but we're having I thought I'm people love vintage costumes. Macho Man is a cult figure of the 80s into the 90s. Right here, my main man Jay Voorhees in the chat says, quote, "My kid wanted to dig up Macho Man's bones so he could keep his skeleton in his room." That's cool.
Illegal.
Well, that's ambition. I'll give him that.
So you think I should have gone with Savage Garden?
Savage Garden from the album Truly Madly Deeply.
So instead of starting the show off with like, "Ooh, yeah," I should have been, "I wanna swim with you in the sea." Song sucks, man.
Oh, it's a great song.
Now, Jess, what do you think about the costume?
Yeah, I like it. I like the attention to detail.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad that at least two of you agree. Daniel, how did you get on this judges panel? Because you're all about safety. I feel like you're not loosened up for Halloween.
I'm the representative from the
coming from a guy
community
who doesn't
board.
care.
I'm the representative from the community board.
Yeah, I got that, but I just feel like, what can Jess and Syd and me do to make this how can you loosen up?
Loosen up?
Yeah.
You got any whiskey?
Well, no, I don't drink.
Never mind.
Well, Jess, you have any whiskey?
I don't drink.
Syd, how about you? You got any whiskey?
I don't at the time, and even if I did, I can't get it to Daniel.
Because I get real loose when I have a couple of shots of whiskey.
All right. Well, Daniel, you might like this. Coming in from the chat right now from Jay Voorhees again, he's suggesting kind of a mashup costume. He says the Macho Man Randy Savage Garden.
That's good.
So maybe it would be like,
I want to swim with you in the sea.
Nice.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
What was that other song?
Okay.
That other song, if he was like,
ooh, yeah, I want you.
Ooh, yeah, I want you.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. And then there was this, I don't know if I need you, but ooh, I'm dying to find out.
I'm dying to find out.
Yeah, if it was, ooh, I want you.
Ooh, yeah, I want you. But I don't know if I need you.
All right, I'm back in for the costume.
Okay, you're back in. Well, that's great. That's 3 for 3. Now, our carvers, they're winding down. It's a last push. What do you think they need to do to get to the place that they want to be, which is the promised land? They want to stand on top of the mountain that Kim Ho planted his flag in last year. Jess, let's go to you.
Yeah, I think they got to be ambitious, confident with what they've got.
Yeah.
And hopefully Joe finds his carving tools.
Yeah, now if he's carving it with a corkscrew, this is going to be a true pie in the face. Daniel, they've only got a couple moments left. What do they need to do with what they've got left, right? I'm sure you felt urgency being in the safety department that you're in before, the feeling of fear, uncertainty. What do you think's going on in their mind? What do they got to do?
Well, the worst thing you can do is panic in a situation like this. I would maybe ask an older person for help.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're grown-ups.
Well, maybe I don't know, have a shot of whiskey.
Okay, well, that's your tip, is to drink. Now, Syd, what about you? With the time they have remaining, what do you think?
Well, here's the thing. It's difficult for me to answer that question, and this ties back to the deciding when to ease on the stickleriness and when not to.
Hey, James, can I have a sip of this coffee?
Absolutely, you can.
I did think to ask, like, do the contestants know how much time they will have to actually carve the pumpkin? But I figured it wouldn't make that much difference. I would say it's a marathon. Y'all know roughly when a show usually ends.
This is true.
Y'all know what time the show, what
Sid,
time it is now, so you can kind of use that.
As a stickler, if you look at the time right now, you'd probably look and say, you know what? We've kept this show pretty tight tonight.
I gotta say, I applaud you. That is some good time management.
Now, last year's Halloween episode, about an hour and 30 minutes, right?
Yes. I actually found it on your YouTube channel to revise the final train wreck.
Yeah, the final train wreck. I have nothing but high hopes for this. Now, before we bring our carvers back in, want to remind you that we're going to be back this coming Monday. It's November. The pumpkins are going to be in the trash. This outfit is going to be in my closet. I'm back to normal, back in business as we inch a little bit closer to Christmas. And that's why I'm here to make a big programming announcement. Sometimes I like to tease it. Tonight I thought, let's give them a trick and a treat. We brought the pumpkin carving contest back, in 2021, we bring back the at-home tree lighting ceremony where we light my Christmas tree live on the air in living color, broadcast across the information superhighway that the kids in 1996 called the internet. Before we bring them back in, Syd, obviously not excited about this announcement.
Not even a little bit.
But I'll tell you what, you were here on Christmas last year.
Yeah.
So even the Grinch's heart grows 3 sizes on Christmas.
I don't think that follows. I am alive on December 25th.
Mr. Syd,
and have
you
been
really
so for a while.
are a Grinch. Right? How about that?
I plan on being alive on December 25th this year.
All right. Now, Daniel, we probably won't have you around for Christmas because it's one of the more safe holidays. Are you excited to see the tree get lit?
Yeah, I'm excited. Are you going to do anything from Movember, James? You kind of skipped over Movember.
Oh, well, I don't know if I would call Movember a holiday.
It's a holiday.
Well, if anything, I skipped over American Thanksgiving, which we do celebrate on this show.
Okay.
You know what?
Hey,
maybe we do the at-home Thanksgiving Day parade. Let's go back to Syd.
I as a stickler, I'd like to point something out from Movember since you brought it up. I never usually mention this, but how can I say this? You're supposed to do Movember properly. You're supposed to shave entirely on October 31st. It's called Movember's Eve. So if you do if you quote unquote do Movember and you have a fully grown mustache on November 1st, you're doing it wrong.
Stickler.
So many people do that every year, and it drives me nuts.
I agree. And that money should be taken away from prostate cancer.
And then slowly grow your
Wait, you're saying the money that the person raises,
if they cheat, yeah,
should be taken from the
they
charities?
should remove that from the charities for prostate cancer.
Okay, well, let's just relax, Mr. Parent. Now, Jess, finally, what do you think about the Christmas tree lighting? You going to be watching that episode?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, look, people complain that the holidays come too early. I was at Winners. I was at the Dollarama today. All of it's out. So now we are starting the holiday season right now on this show. Jess, I'm going to formally announce that you will be part of, which is essentially the sequel to the Chalktober panel, the Holiday Snacks and Treats panel. How do you like them apples?
I do like those apples.
I'll tell you what.
Apples.
All right. Well, yeah, you probably give those out for Halloween.
Yeah. Not with razor blades, though.
All right. Well, yeah, I would hope not. Folks, it is the time you've been waiting for. We have been on the air for 60 minutes. By the looks of things, our carvers are ready to show off their work. The competition ends now, but the scoring is about to begin. Let's welcome back Conor Rose, Joe Conto, and Miss Taylor McMillan to the show. Carvers, have we completed tonight's task? What sounds like everyone is shocked and silent, and some of you were muted. So, Joe, we're going to go to you first. How did you do?
I got inspiration, and I gathered materials, and I think I have something that you're really going to like, especially Jess as a horror movie aficionado. And I'm worried a little bit about Judge Syd Roc because he is a stickler, and he might see some things that I don't want to show.
I'll tell you this, Joe is excited. Yeah, he's fired up. Yeah.
I'm fired up. Conor, let's go to you. It looks like you've cut yourself.
Yeah, James, it's really bleeding heavily. I don't know what to do.
Well, we're going to wait for the contest to end, then you can go get stitches.
Is it your neck? Did you cut your neck, Conor?
Yeah, it's just everywhere.
Well, I don't know how you pulled that off. Taylor, let's go to you. It looks like the lighting in your home has changed, which means you're going to be fully prepared to spark that pumpkin up.
Oh, he's sparked. He's ready.
Now, you're wearing this costume, but there's something about you that looks a little bit like Gomez Adams.
That's a wonderful compliment. Thank you.
I'm not sure if I meant it as such. Let's kick things off into high gear. Taylor, we are going to begin with your pumpkin.
Oh my God, that's a lot of pressure. I'm really nervous. So mine is a 3D experience.
A 3D experience?
Yeah, you have to see from a couple angles here. So bear with me. So we're gonna go first angle here.
All right, here we go. So Jess, Daniel, and Syd are ready. Here we go. Let's begin. Angle number one.
That's the front.
Okay.
You know, fine. Yeah. He's making a bit of a concentrated face, but then when we whip it around, we realize why.
Wow.
Oh.
That is cheeky. That is very, very cheeky. So Taylor, not only this, but it looks like, can we go back to the front of the pumpkin? Now it looks like, this looks like the emoji face. All right, now let's go to the back. In the chat, Jay Voorhees writes, quote, "Is that bloody feces?" All right, so we're going to take it to our judges. Jess, we're going to start with you. The first criteria is creativity. You're going to score it.
I have a question. How can you score this when you haven't seen anything but this?
Well, because everyone gets their own separate scores per category, Joe.
Okay.
Right.
I feel like everyone should see everyone's pumpkin.
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, hold on, because here's the thing. The scores, what Taylor gets has no effect on yours. Everyone gets their own unique set of scores.
Well, except a tip, do what you like.
Well, here we go. Now, Joe, I
actually agree with Joe, but it's your show.
Here we go.
Hey, James.
What? Yep.
You mind if I nosh on this Kit Kat
No,
bar?
yeah, go for it. So you know what? Let's do this. Joe, I think you're right. As petty as it might be, let's go to Joe's pumpkin. Where has Conor gone?
I was wondering the same thing. I'm worried about his neck. So I bring to you, Jess, you remember Friday the 13th, the series, the series of movies?
Well, it looks like Joe is trying to ass kiss a judge here.
Do you possibly remember the severed head of Mrs. Voorhees?
Oh my God.
He's old.
All right. Now this one is
just like Marge.
Yeah. Look, that looks like your wife Marge.
Ex-wife.
Daniel. Now, Joe, let's go back to this pumpkin. Now this looks like that. This looks like. I would say that Joe, your pumpkin looks a little bit more like Mimi from the Drew Carey show.
Oh, the severed head of Mimi.
Yeah.
From the Drew Carey show.
Joe, let's bring your pumpkin back.
Yeah. Please hold on. I'm going to see if I can not have my head. So I'm sorry. I don't know how to use things. Choose video filter.
It's our first controversy of the night in that Joe can't use Zoom. There we go. So let's go back. Yeah, the severed head of Mrs. Voorhees. It's got a wig and everything, some lipstick. So there's some accessories here.
Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks.
Now,
Ohio.
Now, Conor, are you there?
Yeah.
Now, Conor, it's time to show off your pumpkin.
Oh, hey, James. Just got bandaged up.
Oh, that's nice.
Luckily, I have the bleeding under control. I just need a minute. I gotta get my candles and I gotta get it all set up.
Well, Conor, now you had the time limit here.
Just give me a second, James. My first time ever.
All right. So now Conor's stalling here. So I want to go to the judges. How do we feel about this? Is this passable?
What do you mean? Is this passable?
Oh, well, it sounds like Conor's ready.
I think it's fine.
Okay, here it goes. Oh, I can't even see myself.
Yeah, here it goes. Now this one looks a little. Is this a pumpkin eating a smaller pumpkin?
No.
Conor, I think you did a great job.
Hey, thanks.
No one was expecting this to be as good as it is.
See, it's like, I think I took inspiration from the fact that, like, it kind of reminds me of all the women in my life, you know, and the little guy is me.
Well, all right. We've got everyone's pumpkin. Taylor, can we bring yours into focus? And Joe, would you be able to hold yours? Here we go. Now, the scoring officially begins. Once again, we've found some flaws in my system, but again, like any good host does, they correct their flaws. So we're going to begin scoring. There we go. So we're going to begin scoring these. So Jess, we're going to start with you, and we're going to start in the creativity category. What, in terms of a score of 1 through 5, would you give Joe's Ms. Voorhees on creativity?
I would give it a 4.
A 4. Okay. Now, what would you give Joe's pumpkin in terms of execution? 1 through 5.
I would give it a 2.
Give it a 2. Yikes. Now, what would you give it in terms of spookiness?
Also a 2.
Also,
it's a severed head of Mrs. Okay, 3. There we go. Good. All right. I'll take it.
Syd, we're going to go to you now.
All
what
right,
would you give Joe's pumpkin in terms of creativity on 5?
Before I answer that question, I just want to say to all 3 contestants, Taylor, Joe, Conor, I love all 3 of you as people. As people, y'all get a perfect 15 in my book. But this is a competition. I understand how it hurts to get low scores for art that you kind of poured a part of your soul into. But listen, this is pumpkin carving competition, okay? So I just wanted to make that clear right away. So your question for Joe, I already wrote down all my scores for everyone.
Here we go. So for Joe, creativity 1 through 5.
Creativity, I'm giving it a 4. I gotta say,
similar to Jess.
Yeah, it's a way to a twist with do a twist with something that you with the tools that you have, you know.
That's correct. What about execution on 5?
Execution, I'm also giving it a 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna
And spookiness on 5.
2.
Ooh. Okay.
2.
Yeah.
So now, Joe, you have got 18 points thus far.
All right.
Got 18 points. Let's go to Daniel. Daniel, are you with us?
Hey, how's it going?
What would you give Joe's pumpkin on creativity 1 through 5?
Creativity? Well, you know, I love the Drew Carey show. Very, very creative show. Also interesting that you happen to have that wig. I'm going to give it a 4 on 5.
4 on 5. What would you give execution?
Execution?
Yep.
No sharp edges. A little simple in its design, you know, but you have that extra makeup. Interesting to have that. I'm going to give it 3 on 5 on execution.
3 on 5 and spookiness.
Spookiness?
Ooh.
Well, it's a severed head. Looks like my ex-wife.
Yep.
That's also a 3 on 5.
All right. So that's going to bring Daniel's score to a 10. That is exactly what Syd gave, a 10, and Jess's 8. So Joe, that brings you to a total of 28 pumpkin points.
Out of a possible 45.
Of a possible 45. That's Syd the Stickler. We're now going to move on to Taylor's pumpkin. So Syd, this time around, we're going to start with you on creativity 1 through 5.
Man, I fucking love this. I'm giving Taylor 5 for creativity.
5 for creativity. Execution.
Also a 5.
Also a 5. Spookiness.
3. I fucking love the idea, but it is not spooky.
All right. Well, someone in the chat has referred to it as a prolapsed anus. That is pretty spooky.
Damn, yes.
All right. Jess, let's go to you. Taylor's pumpkin on creativity.
5.
5. Execution.
5.
Spookiness.
5.
5. A perfect score of 15. Daniel, let's go to you. Creativity, 1 through 5.
Well, firstly, I'd just like to say that I don't believe that's a prolapsed anus. I think that's that's shit in your blood.
Well, Syd, excuse me, Daniel, that's some strong language. I don't know if that's safe for kids to hear.
I'm sorry. You're right. I meant blood in your shit.
Oh, my mistake. What would you give it on creativity?
I'm going to give that a 5.
All right. Execution.
Despite the fact that that's a regular occurrence.
Yeah. What do you mean a regular occurrence? For who? You?
Yeah.
All right. What would you give it on execution?
Execution?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it a 5.
I'm going to give it a 5. Spookiness.
Hey, if that's ever happened to any of you, like it's to me, it's a pretty spooky thing.
Right?
You got to go to the hospital.
Is that a 5?
That's a 5.
That's a 5 for another perfect score of 15. So Daniel's 15 and Jess's 15 bring us to a total of 30 pumpkin points plus Syd's 13. So
it's cool 30, if I step on this can.
Yeah, absolutely it is. So if I'm doing my math correctly, 15 plus 15 is 30 plus 13 is 33.
No,
43.
43.
Out of a possible 45. That's
out of a possible
score.
45.
Yep.
So that is 45 pumpkin points. Joe, you've officially been eliminated from the competition.
Yes.
It's 43 pumpkin points.
Well, it's okay.
43 pumpkin points. So let's go to Connor's pumpkin. Syd, we're going to start with you again. Creativity.
Okay. Man, I love the idea. For creativity, I am giving Conor a 5.
Conor a 5 for the pumpkin, eating the pumpkin that's inspired by how he feels based on his relationships with women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which way, Daniel?
Away. Now, Syd, execution. Would you give it what?
This is where I had to play hardball here.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult for me to see someone stalling to prepare the final candle. Mm-hmm. Where Taylor's candle seemed to have been ready like ahead of time. Mm-hmm. So that's why I had to dock Conor and give Conor a 3 for execution.
3 for execution. And spookiness, right?
That is the spookiest of all 3. I'm giving Conor a 4.
Giving Conor a 4. There we go.
Thanks, Syd.
So that's for a grand total of 12 pumpkin points.
Yep.
Now, Jess, let's go to you. Creativity 1 through 5.
Connor, I just want to say I love you.
Wow. You're going to regret saying that.
Hey, Jess, I really love you too.
Cool.
Maybe we can hang out after.
Yeah, well, Conor, let's just relax now while the judges do their work. What would you give it in terms of creativity, Jess?
But I would give it a 3.
A 3. Execution on 5.
A 3.
A 3 and spookiness.
I'm sorry, it's also a 3.
So we've got 9 pumpkin points. Daniel, let's go to you. Hey. We're going to need a lot of points here. Creativity for Conor's pumpkin.
Hey, Conor, can I ask you a question?
Hey, Daniel, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good.
Hey, we're going to have that sleepover at some point?
Yeah, we should have a sleepover.
Oh, my God.
Okay, cool. Hey, what are those eyes made of?
Smushed blueberries.
Oh, nice. All right.
They're smushed like my heart.
Oh, yeah, I know what that feeling's like. Yeah.
Hey, it's really nice to speak to someone who understands me.
Daniel, what do you give it on creativity?
Creativity, I'm going to give that a 4, Conor.
A 4. Execution on 5.
Execution? Well, it's sort of mixed media pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
Going to give it another 4.
Another 4 for 8. And then spookiness is what?
Spookiness?
Yep.
Oh, man. A lot of sharp edges. I'm going to give it another 4.
Another 4 for a grand total of 12 points. So your 12 and Syd's 12 bring us to 24. And then 24 plus 9 is?
It's a great question, James.
31.
It is
32.
It is 32.
No, 33. Holy shit.
It is 33, which means Taylor McMillan, you are the 2021 Pumpkin Carving Contest champion the torch has been passed to you by way of this bleeding butthole pumpkin.
Ow, thank you guys so much.
Let's check in with everyone. I want to check in with the winner, Taylor. How does it feel to win with just a truly grotesque pumpkin?
I mean, I had a lot of faith and a lot of courage, and I didn't want to put any boundaries on myself, but also it feels like a total honor to be in the same league as the severed head pumpkin and Connor's pumpkin too. They both did a great job. What
a performance. Connor, let's go to you. I think you really blew people away. You did better than we expected. You came in second place.
Oh yeah, it's a great honor. Joe, better luck next year. Taylor, I really if you ever want to, teach me how to do what you do, I would love to learn how to make bloody buttholes.
Connor, let's just take it easy. Let's take it easy, Connor.
Connor, you did a great job. I think
Joe, we're gonna go to you. I think you were the audience's sentimental favorite going in.
So
tonight, are you already eating the pumpkin?
No. Remember, I told you earlier I had mini Triscuits.
That's correct. Joe, take us through what you're feeling tonight.
Well, I'm just happy to be competing at this level.
Yeah, right. So this is a league now, Joe. This is included to everyone, whether it's Jess, Connor, Daniel, Syd, and Taylor, myself. We don't know what's going to happen in the next calendar year, right? COVID has certainly found a way to balance itself out. We have returned to some semblance of normalcy here. The question begs, will there be a 2022 pumpkin carving competition? Now, we don't know what the future of this show is.
Oh, yeah.
I think that it will exist on some level. And I feel like, Joe, you and I right now need to make a blood pact that you will be back to carve again in 2022.
Done.
You're retiring, much like Kim Ho. The difference is he went on.
Yeah, it was fun. But let's leave it to the kids.
Let's leave it to the kids.
That's what I say.
Now, Connor, let's go to you. How does it feel being a rookie carver?
Yeah, James. I can't say that I came out unscathed. I
cut your neck.
Yeah, it's really oh no, I think my bandages are coming undone.
Well, okay, we'll just take a second. We'll check in. Taylor, how does it feel? To the victor go the spoils.
Yeah, I guess I got to figure out what to do with all this prolapsed rectum that's sitting here on my cutting board.
Yeah, if you figure out how to fix one of those, let me know.
Well, of course, we want
asking for a friend.
We want to check in with our judges. Jess, let's go to you. How did tonight's competition play out? Did it happen the way you expected, or are you blown away? Because I'm blown away.
I'm blown away, James. Really, truly blown away.
Syd, let's go to you.
Joe, you were my sentimental favorite coming into this competition as well. I'm on the record very vocal as saying you were robbed last year, but this year the score is the score, and I knew I had to call it down the line, no matter my personal feelings for what happened last year. And Taylor, congratulations, great job. It was you've earned it. It was pretty clear to me, when everyone was giving their scores, and I knew my score for you, that you were going to win this. So unless Connor pulled out huge scores from everyone else. So yeah, great job.
Daniel, we're going to round things out with you before we call it a night. How did tonight turn out? Did it meet your expectations or exceed them?
I think the real competition, James, was the friends we made along the way.
Well, how's that a competition?
What's that?
How's that a competition?
I mean, the real winner.
Oh, so you're saying that we're all winners tonight?
Yeah.
Well, that I must say needs to include our audience. It was voluminous tonight. Everyone knows that we love an occasion here on this show on twitch.tv/@homewithjames. So for Jess Fildes, Daniel Parent, Syd Roc, Conor Rose, Joe Conto, and tonight's pumpkin carving contest champion, Taylor McMillan, I have to thank you so graciously for watching tonight. Have yourself a fun and safe and maybe even a sexy Halloween. We're going to see you on Monday. Until then, I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and be well.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Taylor, call me.
Bye.